I started playing League of Legends somewhere in Season 1 and had fun playing it for about 2 to 3 years before quitting in Season 3 after managing to get to Diamond. The game we played back then was similar to today's only in name and genre. All the champions have been either changed or reworked. Same goes for the items, the map, objectives, and even the systems that exist within the game. If it took a player from back then and made him play League we have today while somehow managing to hide the likeness of the game, they would for sure think they were playing a completely different MOBA game. As the game was so different, so were the players. The best way to describe the mentality of players back then would be with the phrase, just queue up and play. Coaching didn't exist back then.
Why are we just taking it up the ass?
I can't move, I was cute.
Spam your R and you would move. Get your camera out and then you would know. No, that's what you said. I'm telling you move because you don't want to, because it's uncomfortable. It's an esport. It's not comfortable.
So we weren't thinking about concepts such as wave control, recall, and jungle timings, positive and negative tempo, lane priority, and so on and so forth. The game plan was plain and simple. Go to lane, beat the opponent, group to win fights, win the game. All the nuance was reserved only for the top professionals.
Plates give you more gold! They give you more gold than rotating! You get more XP! Why the fuck am I here?
So, as you can probably imagine, with the lack of strategic understanding of the game, mechanics reigned supreme. And that's not to say that people were better mechanically back then, because they definitely weren't, but when players such as Faker and Insect showed up, they blew everybody's minds with how well their mechanical play was.
Insect comes in behind Yellowbeak, cues in, wards back, kicks in. That is so hard to execute.
I'm like, even though I only have a mat on the floor, I think he's in the bed. Oh, Faker maybe in trouble here. Deathmark tries to clean it up for Ryu. Oh, look at the cleanse, look at the moves. Faker, what was that? Faker with a huge play.
After 10 years of being away from League, I had a thought. What if I played League again and even climbed to Master? Some people thought I was going completely insane or giving into some deep-seated masochistic tendencies. To be quite honest, I can't say that these claims were wrong. Maybe all this was just some part of a mental breakdown or something. In all honesty, I didn't even want or feel the need to play League of Legends. I really just wanted to challenge myself. I felt like I had to prove to myself that I can do something really hard and do it for myself. The problem was that I underestimated how hard it would actually be. My journey began February 18th, 2023. I played my first game of League in about 10 years, 10 or 11 years. They were ranked placement games. The first thing I noticed when I got into the game was that I didn't know what was going on. Masteries, runes, items, half of the champion's abilities were completely outside of my understanding of what I knew the game to be. Also, the people I was playing against were pretty dang good. They knew how to last hit, trade, gank, and go for objectives, and this took me by surprise. After I finished my placements, I think I got justly placed into Bronze 3. I was surprised by the result. I was expecting to at least be placed into Silver, but after playing more games, I realized just how much better everyone had gotten. In the coming months, I kept playing, relearning the game and improving. Things were looking pretty good. I was completely oblivious to the fact that I was going to run into my biggest obstacle of this whole project, and that obstacle nearly crushed me. With improvement, I climbed to Silver 1, and little did I know that this would be the last time I played a ranked game with positive LP gains. After that game, every single game I played, I would get negative LP gains. And when I'm talking about LP, like in short, these are points that you get for winning or you lose for losing a game in ranked, and they determine your rank on the ladder. In Season 13, Riot had introduced an LP increase per game because they were going to restart people's ranks at the middle of the season. A 2-season split, they called it. And since players needed to climb again, it made sense to increase the LP they gain because they have less time to climb. But in the implementation of the new system, they made a big mistake. In League, the thing that dictates how much LP you're going to gain and lose isn't your win rate. It is a hidden rating called the matchmaking rating, or MMR for short. Riot didn't properly increase the amount of MMR players gained from their wins, so even though they were winning a lot, they would gain less LP and they would lose more. So let me give you an example. In order to climb from Bronze 3 to Master, you need to obtain a total of 2,300 LP. Ever since Silver 1, I've tracked my average LP gains to around plus 21 and my losses to around minus 27. This means that if you wanted to climb, you needed to have a win rate of over 56%. Anything under 56% and you would lose more LP than you gain, and it would make climbing the ladder completely impossible. So this change drastically increased the number of games players needed to play in order to climb. So if we assume like a really high win rate, of 60%, like 60% over a long period of games playing with people who are similar skill level means that you're way better than the people you're playing with, basically. So if we assume a win rate of 60% and my LP gains of plus 21 minus 27, you would need to play about 1,334 games in order to get required LP to get to Master.
Actually, I have to point out a slight discrepancy in your calculations. In order to go from Gold to Master with your LP gains and a 60% win rate, you would actually need 889 games, which comes up to about 445 hours. I just thought I'd clear that up. You're welcome.
That's a lot of time, right? That you're required to play League. I was absolutely not expecting this. Now, this is made lesser by the fact that when you lose LP, you don't immediately drop below 0. So, for instance, if you lose a game and you had 1 LP, you're only going to lose 1 LP. You're not going to lose 27 LP in that situation. So that kind of lessens it. However, it is still, it is absolutely not enough. Let's just put it that way. When I started to play this game, I absolutely didn't expect to be required to play that many hours and that many games. So I ran into a pretty serious problem. Like even at times I would gain 17 LP and I would lose 30 LP. So if you can imagine, once I lost 1 game, I would need to devote another hour of my life to win 2 games to just break even. So losing a game became incredibly stressful, and this led me to develop serious ladder anxiety. I became borderline depressed. It was completely ruining my life at that point.
You can't gaslight yourself into thinking you're winning, because there's literal LP cutoffs and you can't escape them.
Because if I were to lose 3 games in one day, I would absolutely lose motivation to do anything. All I could think about is, oh my god, I just lost 3 games. I'm gonna need to do at least 3 hours of gameplay, and I'm gonna have to win all of those games in order to just break even and not even make progress. So yeah, that was horrible. Yeah, I was really contemplating quitting this project that I was on. I didn't know if I could do it, but there was a voice at the back of my head that just told me to keep going, right? So I kept going, and I kept pushing. I found a way to increase my win rate to about 80%. I did absolutely everything I could. I played only when I felt perfect. I tried to avoid usual pitfalls that people fall into and lose LP, such as tilt queuing or anything like that. I basically gave it my all. I tried to carry every single game, and after about 35 games with an 80% win rate, I managed to rank up and get to Diamond. But once I got Diamond, I just ran into another obstacle. That obstacle was the ladder reset. Riot realized that there was a lot of hype around the game at the beginning of each season, so they decided to create another artificial season start to increase interest in their game. And they did this through the implementation of a ladder reset. Once I got Diamond, the ladder reset, so I lost a bunch of my progress that I've worked so hard to get. Also, Riot had a brilliant idea of introducing a whole nother rank, Emerald rank. So on top of losing progress, now they added 400 more LP that players needed to climb to get to Master. So getting Master was even harder. At this point, I've been playing so long with negative LP gains that I just kind of gave up. I just kind of accepted that this is gonna be the way it's gonna be from now on. So what I did is I started a new account, and I started playing from scratch, trying to refine my skill, develop some new skills, and also learn new champions. So the climb began anew, and the negative LP gain soon joined me as I was making my way through Platinum rank. This is not a sad story, because on October 1st, 2023, I finally did it. I played my last ranked game and I managed to reach Master. After playing a total of 990 games on my 2 accounts, despite having negative LP gains until the end, I've managed to climb from Bronze 3 to Master, without any access to things like coaching or direct help from better players. I also managed to hit rank 10 on my server with one of my favorite champions, Twisted Fate, with a win rate of 60% on about 140 games. Yeah, that's the story. Was it worth it? Absolutely not. Because all I have now is just a high rank, a high funny number in a video game. And that's it. But yeah, I do see an opportunity here. I do see an opportunity to use my knowledge and experience that I've gained to create a community and to help people out who are stuck in same or similar situations to mine. And I can definitely see that being a very valuable thing in the future. So all I want to do now is just thank all the people who were there with me for the journey. I want to thank all the people who are joining the journey, because even though it's over, it's not really over. It's never really over. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you for listening to me. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
You said I'd fly away, but my walls have kept me down. Now I'm lost and I'm afraid, and I'm close.